4 children who live with me, and I have 2 stepchildren. So my 13-year-old and my 10-year-old are both diagnosed with autism. My 10-year-old son also has ADHD. My 10-year-old, his behaviour became so severe that we couldn't go anywhere with him. We would have either one of 2 scenarios. So he would either melt down and become aggressive and angry, or alternatively, he would get so hyped up and so silly that he wasn't able to make decisions for his own safety. We realised that he was carrying a lot of guilt and shame because he became suicidal. He got to the point where he was telling us he didn't deserve to live. We desperately needed the psychology, and we've been seeing this a psychologist for 5 years. My son's pediatrician had mentioned to me that he felt that medication would be the right option for us. At that meeting, I said, no, I really don't want to go down that road. I spoke to my son's psychologist and said, this is what the pediatrician is suggesting. What else can we do? And she said, look, you've been a model student. You've done everything I've asked you to do. You've put in all the programs. You've done all of the homework. You've done everything for him. I agree with your pediatrician, and I think we need to medicate him. You've exhausted all other options. It really broke me. I also was seeing a counsellor to support me with my mental health because I wasn't coping, because I didn't know the answers of how to help my son. I then ended up on medication because I actually got to the point where I considered, maybe do I send my son to live full time with his dad, because maybe it's me, maybe I can't help him and I'm the reason. I guess it really made me wonder, am I good enough? And I just felt like I'd failed. I felt like I didn't have anything else to offer or anything else to do. I was lost. Then I guess I just started looking for what else I could do. I'd exhausted all other options with the professionals, and I decided that I'd look up online, and I found the Holley Effect. The other things that I've tried was about manipulating his behaviour and changing him on a surface level. As a teacher and educator, I always knew and I always held true to that behaviour was communication. The program gave me really, really good insight into how I could understand what he was telling me, what he needed, what he was trying to express to me. And once I knew what he needed, allowed me that missing link into how I could meet that need.
Yes.
And then I got an outcome. So I look at my son now, and when he starts to melt down, previously I would go into my own triggers and I'd be like, oh my God, not again. I don't want to deal with this. I don't know what to do. I hate my life. And it would just steamroll from there. But now when he starts, I look at him and what's he trying to tell me? Have I spent enough time with him today? Is he worried about something? And so sometimes I'll say to him, hey mate, do you need help or a hug? And he'll articulate which one he needs, or I will just go and offer a hug and say, hey, I can see you're really struggling at the moment. Do you want a hug, or let's try something else? And he calms down and we can then have a conversation. Whereas before it would go on for hours. My son had for years felt to me like an empty shell, and we've gotten to the point where I was just standing watching him play with his little brother, and I just called his name and I snapped a photo of him, and the genuine smile on his face, I saw life in his eyes again for the first time in like 5 years. I saved his life. I know the road that we were headed, and he's not on that same road anymore. I just saved him. What I want to offer is that connection is something that I just didn't have with my kids. I thought I was loving them. Through this, I found that their love languages was different than what I thought it was. Now that I'm connecting with them on this deeper level, I guess it sounds really funny, but I can see them now. I see their behavior and I see what it means. I see what the message is that it's trying to tell me, and I'm not missing those messages and missing those opportunities for connection. So I feel like all of the relationships that we have are better because I can see the connections that are needed.
This is the thing with kids. So often we don't need to fix their problems. They don't need us to fix it for them. They just need us to see them. They just need to feel like we understand them. I can't fix your pain, but I'm just letting you know I see your pain.